So hello everybody, welcome back to a brand new video on the channel. Today I'm going to be ranking all 7 live action Spider-Man movies. So that goes all the way from 2002's Spider-Man all the way to 2019's Spider-Man Far From Home. So thank you very much for the support on the previous video, which was the Doctor Who Season 8 The Collection unboxing. I really do appreciate the support. I'm loving making videos and that unboxing is doing really well. So if you're new around here, please like, comment and subscribe so you do not miss a future upload. And click that notification bell so you get notified when I do upload. But if you aren't new around here, please like and comment and continue your amazing support. So coming in I was going to say 10th place then, in 7th place is The Amazing Spider-Man 2. Now most of you might be thinking, why have you got this on Steelbook? Well, the reason I have this on Steelbook is because this was the first Steelbook I ever picked up and I thought it was cool. Now looking at it, the film's shit and this is shit. Pardon my language. This movie does nothing for me. The only good thing I do like about this movie is that I think Electro, Jamie Foxx, he is a really good villain in this movie, but he doesn't make the film any better. Andrew Garfield's still alright as Spider-Man, but this film, the story doesn't really do much for me. The writing is quite bad in my opinion, and it just doesn't feel like a Spider-Man movie to me. So in 7th place is The Amazing Spider-Man 2. In 6th place is its predecessor, The Amazing Spider-Man. Now this one is slightly better than The Amazing Spider-Man 2, but not much better. I think, in my personal opinion, Andrew Garfield plays a really good Peter Parker, but isn't a great Spider-Man. Emma Stone is really good in this film, I believe. I think she's probably the best part about this movie. The villain, the Lizard, is quite cool as well, but other than that, yeah, there's not much I really like about these two Mark Webb Spider-Man movies, to be completely honest. The cinematography, I think, is quite nice. The directing, or the cinematography itself is really good. But other than that, the story doesn't really do. Again, the story doesn't really do much for me. The writing ain't great. But yeah, these two Mark Webb Spider-Man movies don't really do much for me. Coming in 5th place. Yep, 5th place is the end of the Sam Raimi trilogy, Spider-Man 3. Now, for me, this was quite a sour end to the Sam Raimi trilogy. Sorry about the stickers there. Tobey Maguire, I think, had reached his course for me as Spider-Man. He's a good Spider-Man, but isn't a good Peter Parker. Kirsten Dunst, for me, isn't very good in these films. This film mainly fell apart because of how many villains it had, and the story had quite a few holes. I really did like James Franco in this film. I thought he gave a really good performance. I think this is, to me, his best performance in this trilogy. But he sort of left it a bit late and done his best performance for the worst film in the trilogy. But yeah, it's not bad, but it's not great. Obviously, this movie is now filled with memes, with obviously that 15-minute bit added in where it sort of goes from Spider-Man to Tim Burton, when Peter Parker turns into like some sort of goth character and starts dancing. That's a funny 15 minutes, but yeah, this film isn't great. In 4th place is the second of the MCU Spider-Mans, which is Spider-Man Far From Home. I'm not a massive fan of this movie, to be quite honest. I don't really like it. But as a Spider-Man film, I do like it. But as an MCU film, I don't really like it. I think they're just trying to push Tom Holland's Spider-Man way too much to become Iron Man. And I don't like it, the way it's going. I thought Jake Gyllenhaal was very good in this movie. I liked where the film was set, London. Myself being a Londoner, I think going back to his roots in London was great. Well, obviously Tom Holland's roots, not Spider-Man. I thought Zendaya was really good in this movie. Jacob Batalon, really good. We didn't see too much of Marissa Tomei's Aunt May in this film, which I did like her in the first movie, and I wish we would have saw more of her But overall, for me, this isn't a very good... it's a good Spider-Man movie, but they're pushing Tom Holland's Spider-Man way too much to become the next Iron Man. And I think that's where the story fell apart for me. So, the final four. In fourth place is the first of the Sam Raimi Spider-Man trilogy, Spider-Man, from 2002. I thought Tobey Maguire was very good in this film as Peter Parker, but not good as Spider-Man. Kirsten Dunst was a bit dramatic and over the top in this movie. James Franco was good. I think for me, he's the only one who's consistently good in this Spider-Man trilogy. Obviously, it's a matter of opinion. But I think the best part of this film is Willem Dafoe's Green Goblin. I thought he was amazing as the villain. And I'd love to see him return for Spider-Man 3, which comes out this year, I think, in December. But overall, this is a great movie, a great start to a great trilogy. Well, to the first two. But overall, I think the reason I've put this fourth is because the three movies above it I do hold in a little bit more higher regard. But overall, I think this is a great, great movie. In third place, this is probably going to piss a lot of people off from what I've put in my third place. But for me, the two movies above it are a bit better. And that is Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse, the animated, first fully animated Spider-Man movie we've had. I thought the cinematography, like the animation in this movie, was stunning. I thought the voice actors, the people they got for the voices, were superb. I thought the story was really good. Overall, this is a great movie, but does fall short to the two movies I do have above it. But I still do really, really enjoy this movie. I think it's a great animation, a great Spider-Man movie. I loved seeing Miles Morales finally pop onto the big screen instead of just being in pages. And I really, really enjoy this movie overall, but it does fall short to my number 2 and number 1. So, in second place, for me, is the most comic book accurate Spider-Man movie we've ever had, and my second personal favourite, which is Spider-Man Homecoming. The first full debut of Tom Holland as Spider-Man. We did see him pop up in Civil War for his big debut, big reveal, but this is his first full movie, and I think it's absolutely brilliant. I think Tom Holland is perfect for Peter Parker and Spider-Man. I love his relationship with Jacob Batalon in this movie, Ned. Zendaya's quite quirky and quite awkward in this movie, which I do really like. She is, of course, MJ. Marissa Tomei is brilliant as Aunt May. We obviously have Jon Favreau returning as Happy Hogan. And who can forget the relationship, the father-son relationship between Tom Holland's Spider-Man and Robert Downey Jr.'s Iron Man, who is in this film. And also, not to mention, Michael Keaton is actually the villain in this film as the Vulture. I thought he was really, really good in this film. He played quite a menacing villain, and that's what I really liked about his performance in this movie. I think it was very good. We also did see the Shocker and, of course, Miles Morales' uncle, who was played by Childish Gambino, Donald Glover. They both popped up in this movie. Overall, I think this movie is brilliant. It's a 5 out of 5 for me, and in my opinion, this is the most comic book accurate Spider-Man movie we've had for the past, well, yeah, since the Raimi trilogy. And my number 1, to round off this listing, my number 1 favourite Spider-Man movie and my second favourite comic book movie of all time, Spider-Man 2. I think this movie is phenomenal. I think Sam Raimi done an absolutely amazing job with this movie. The first one was great, and then he's just completely kicked it up a notch with this movie. I thought Alfred Molina was brilliant as Doc Ock. I thought Tobey Maguire was a better Spider-Man in this film, as well as a good Peter Parker. Kirsten Dunst still doesn't really do much for me in this trilogy. I'm sorry if you're a Kirsten Dunst fan, but she really doesn't do anything for me in this trilogy. And of course, James Franco is really good in this movie. But overall, I think this movie is absolutely phenomenal. If you haven't checked out any of these Spider-Man movies, obviously the lower half you can sort of leave out, but from 4 to 1, the films are amazing, and definitely check them out if you haven't watched them, especially this one, because this movie is 5 out of 5. The cinematography is really good in this film. The acting's really good, apart from Kirsten Dunst. A lot of people are going to think I'm going to hate a lot of people are going to think that I hate Kirsten Dunst. I don't. I don't hate Kirsten Dunst. I just don't like her in these films. I think there was no point in her being in these films, really. I think they could have picked a better actress for this trilogy anyway. But overall, this is a phenomenal movie, and that's why it's my number 1. So that was my ranking for all 7 current theatrical Spider-Man movies. I obviously will be re-updating this list in December for the release of Spider-Man No Way Home. The title still sounds weird to me, but I am very much looking forward to it. I just hope that Tom Holland's Spider-Man doesn't get ruined, because I do think he's brilliant as Spider-Man. And I know that the last time we had all these villains and all these cameo appearances and stuff like that in a Spider-Man movie, it ruined the end of a trilogy. And I really hope it doesn't happen for Tom Holland. But nonetheless, I'll stop waffling now and leave you guys alone. Thank you very much for watching the video. If you have stayed this far into it, I really do appreciate it. The support is amazing so far. Please smash a like. Comment what you want me to rank next, because I've got so many things to rank, and also let me know what other videos you want to see me do, because I'm pretty sure some of you are getting fed up by now of the rankings. So thank you very much for watching. Do stay safe, and I will catch you in the next video. Bye bye.